UFC Fight Night Kansas City, Ian Machado Garry versus Carlos Prates just took place. I don't know how to feel about this card. Like a lot of the fights, they were pretty fun in the beginning, but towards when we got to the middle and like I don't know, just some fights on the main card. Oh man, they were so sad to watch. I We'll get to those fights in a second, but regardless, we're gonna go over every fight on the card, starting off with the early prelims, ending with the main event, and without wasting any more time, let's jump right into the video. Starting off with the first fight of the night, we have Chelsea Chandler versus Jocelyn Edwards. Now, I missed most of this fight because I believe I was picking up dinner when this fight started. Little did I know that Jocelyn Edwards would get a round two nasty TKO over Chelsea Chandler. If you guys haven't watched it, it was actually pretty good because Jocelyn Edwards, he didn't pull off the bullshit head kick Leon Edwards, which I thought that was going to be it if Jocelyn Edwards were to ever get a TKO. She actually pressed forward with boxing combinations and just slumped Chelsea Chandler out cold. Nasty performance from Jocelyn Edwards. Um, I did say it was a bathroom break, and although it didn't end in a boring fashion, I have no regret calling it that because honestly, this is kind of out of the norm. But I'm gonna be fair to Jolson Edwards and say it was a great performance regardless. Moving on, we have Timmy Kawamba versus Roberto Romero. Sick fight. Timmy Kawamba brutal flying knee over Roberto Romero. Very well timed. And Timmy Kwamba, he just looked like the more polished fighter throughout this entire fight. Round one, Timmy Kwamba was picking apart Romero with the boxing combinations. Romero did have some success with the kicks, but again, it was Kwamba that was pushing the pace and overall just landing the cleaner shots. Round two was when Timmy Kwamba started unloading. He kind of wobbled Romero with a head kick and cut him open. And then from there, as Romero was trying to like press forward, trying to get a finish because honestly, it was probably down 2 rounds. Timmy Kwamba timed a beautiful knee down the middle as Romero ducked his head and I will say this, the fight was stopped a little bit early, but it shouldn't take away from what Timmy Kwamba was doing because Timmy Kwamba, he was just piecing up Roberto Romero throughout the entire fight. Nasty win for Timmy Kwamba, and good for him because I had serious doubts if he was going to stay in the UFC for longer if he had lost this fight. Moving on, we have Jacqueline Namorin versus Polyana Viana. I think I speak for a lot of people when I say this. We need to cut Polyana Viana off the roster. She's too focused on her OnlyFans career instead of actually training just martial arts in general. Like her striking is non-existent. Her grappling, Jesus Christ, like she literally let Amorim secure every takedown. Like Viana had her legs open so that Amorim can just fucking dominate her on the ground. Again, like okay, I'm not gonna shit on Amorim because you're kind of just supposed to fight whoever you're given, but fucking Christ, Polyana Viana, what are you still doing here in the UFC? And I don't know. It just cut Polyana Viana off. It's clear that she's not taking her career seriously. But good win for Jacqueline Morim, I guess. I guess now this kind of determines that Morim should get a ranked opponent. I don't know. I still don't think Morum's even that good though. Like, I'm gonna be honest. I feel the fact that Viana survived to the second round is kind of a knock on Amorim. Yes, Amorim kind of ragdolled her in the first round, but again, just get Viana out off the face first takedown because she's not a real fighter. She's an OnlyFans whore. All right, enough said about this fight. We're gonna move on. Malcolm Wellmaker versus Cameron Simon. This was fucking nasty by Malcolm Wellmaker. Uh, he timed Cameron Simon lunging in with the DDP style 1-2 down the pipe with a check right hook. And then Simon just like covered up from there and it was over. But this was even more impressive than the Peyton Talbot performance, in my opinion. Like Peyton Talbot weren't making Simon just curl up in the ball like this. Like Simon was still in that fight, and the ref kind of called the fight off a little bit early because uh Simon got badly wobbled. But there was no argument for this one. Wellmaker knocked him out cold. I think Wellmaker's better than Peyton Talbot at this point, and I think Wellmaker deserves a very big jump up in competition. Someone just outside of the rankings, probably, because Wellmaker's in his prime and he's looking unbeatable. He's knocked out nearly everybody in the first round that he's fought. So yeah, I can't wait to see what Wellmaker does. I know this guy works as an elec an electrician, a plumber, I believe. Like, I think if the UFC were to be generous and give this guy the bonus, then maybe we can see Wellmaker take his career fully seriously. I don't think the UFC will, unfortunately, but I hope this guy gets the bonus because this guy's on 10K for 10K and he put on a performance like that. Like, I think that deserves a very big bonus for him. 50K, please, UFC. I know you guys don't like giving fighters who are nearly at poverty level like money, but come on, like we actually have to support talent here. Like you fucking greedy ass company. Please give Malcolm Wellmaker the 50K bonus. Other than that though, great stuff from Malcolm Wellmaker. We're moving on to Damon Blackshear versus Alatageli. Not the way I thought this fight would go, but Damon Blackshear still won 3 rounds to 2. And overall, Blackshear, he looked a lot better in his Muay Thai. Like maybe Montel Jackson is just that fast and that powerful, but Blackshear looked good in the striking. Now, Alatalengi, he did look like he was packing up Blackshear towards the end, where like Alatalengi was just swinging big meaty hooks, but Blackshear blocked most of them, and that's how Blackshear was able to win this fight. Block most of the power shots and come in with peppering jabs for 3 rounds straight. Blackshear like used his range to kind of dictate the entire fight, and I think this warrants Blackshear a top 15 opponent. Again, not the way I thought this fight would have gone out because I thought Blackshear would have submitted Alentelengi by the second round or something. But still, it's clear that Blackshear is improving on his striking. I would like to see Blackshear wrestle more, like engage in the wrestling, but I think this fight warrants him a top 15 opponent. Probably someone coming off a loss, maybe like a Ayman Zahabi after Zahabi loses to Jose Aldo. But yeah, great stuff from Jamal Blackshear, and hopefully we get to see him fight again soon. Moving on, we have Chris Gutierrez versus John Castaneda. I do not give a fuck about this fight. Like Chris Gutierrez won. He shouldn't have even won in the first place. Uh, I I don't know the exact rounds. I just know that every time Castaneda took down Gutierrez, Gutierrez looked like a fish out of water. And on the feet, Gutierrez just tapping, point sparring at range. Castaneda, he didn't do that much better to be honest, but he was actually putting some heat into 1 out of every 5 of his punches. So uh, it was just a shit fight. We should cut Chris Gutierrez off the roster regardless. How the hell he won 7 fights in a row at some point in the bantamweight division is fucking insane. But I honestly thought that Castaneda should have won. I don't care enough to vouch for Castaneda though at the same time because this was a shit fight. Cut Chris Gutierrez off the roster regardless, and cut Castaneda off the roster for losing to Chris Gutierrez. All right, we're gonna move on to Evan Elder versus Gage Young. Now, at certain moments of the fight, this was pretty dull, but it wasn't dull like a Chris Gutierrez versus John Castaneda. Evan Elder, he comfortably outstruck Gage Young on the feet and had him guessing on the takedowns. Young, for some reason, he's just tapping and touching on Evan Elder to find his range. Like, brother, you're losing the third round. You've lost the 2 already. Please just go in there. You can't just keep finding your range for 15 minutes expecting to win a fight. Like that's not how it works at Gage Young. Unfortunately, Evan Elder, he was the only one who actually put any action, and Gage Young, I guess he's just not UFC caliber to be honest. Like he didn't really do much of anything. Like he occasionally tagged Evan Elder up with the right hand, but he never followed it up with anything else. And that's what's really frustrating. We'll get to a lot of the fights on the main card in a second, but I guess congrats to Evan Elder. Gage Young, he shouldn't be in the UFC, but I guess the UFC will keep him for one more fight. But yeah, I think more than anything, I just took away from this fight that Gage Young does not know how to find his range in a 15-minute fight. We're gonna move on. Matt Schnell versus Jimmy Flick. Now, Matt Schnell, he was about to lose this fight multiple times, and Jimmy Flick, he is awful, but if you give him any sort of advantages in the grappling department, he will run with it because as soon as Flick would drop for a single leg, Schnell looked like a fish out of water. What was really frustrating in this fight was that Schnell kept pulling guard, pulling guillotines, pulling triangles. Like, brother, you're not submitting Jimmy Flick. I'm sorry. Just knock his ass out. Whenever Schnell did have mount or anything like that, though, Schnell did a good job of landing some vicious ground and pounder. And overall, I took away from this fight, Schnell, he is a dog. His chin is still questionable because a few times Jimmy Flick he kind of upkicked Schnell in the chin, and I could see like Schnell's eyes wobbling a little bit back. But fair enough to Schnell, he did enough to win him the fight. Jimmy Flick, he should be cut from the roster. He's not good at all. I'll make a video about that in the near future. But regardless, hats off to Matt Schnell because although he doesn't have a chin, he does fight like a warrior. And to see him fight with relatively little damage, it does bring me joy because I've been seeing this poor man getting knocked out way too many times. We're going to move on to the main card. We have Ikram Aliskerov versus Andre Muniz. Now, Andre Muniz, I don't know why the fuck I picked you, but you're a complete bum. I have no other words other than you're a complete bum. Ikram Aliskerov dropped Andre Muniz with the left hook in the first round, and then Muniz proceeded to shell up Anthony Smith style. We'll get to the co-main event in a second, and Muniz just didn't do anything. He just shelled up. He waited for the ref to kind of step in because Muniz just I don't know what the fuck he's doing on the feet. Like it's just so sad. Like Ikram Aliskerov, I still don't think he's that good. Like I really don't. Like he just goes for like one shot KO shots, hoping that he knocks you out. And it worked out for him this time because Andre Muniz is fucking dog shit on the feet. I still can't believe I picked him to win this fight. But in hindsight, that was a dumb pick. Ikram Aliskerov knocked out Andre Muniz in the first round. Why did I pick the guy who got ragdolled by Paul Craig to beat someone who's actually dangerous? I have no idea. But, fair enough, Ikram Aliskerov. I doubted you. Your only loss is to Robert Whitaker, so it is kind of hard to gauge where you stack up still, but it's kind of clear that you belong somewhere within the top 25 and maybe somewhere like just outside the rankings or within the top 15. Either way, uh, I guess he's better than I thought, whereas Andre Muniz is complete dog shit. And hopefully Ikram Askarov can fight someone in the rankings soon because I think it's time we stop giving him all of these tomato cans. There is an opponent on this card that he should fight next, probably Michel Pereira. I'll get to your fight in a second, Michel Pereira, but overall, nasty finish from Ikram Aliskerov. Moving on, we have Randy Brown versus Nicholas Dalby. Randy Brown just flatlined Nicholas Dalby. I have never seen that happen in the UFC. I think that's super impressive. Now, in round one, even, Randy Brown, he cut open Nicholas Dalby and on top of that, he broke Dalby's nose, and it was clear that Randy Brown was a little bit pissed off, probably because of his last fight with Brian Battle, where a lot of people are arguing that Brian Battle won the fight. But Randy Brown, Right. One-way traffic. And Nicholas Dalby, he had a hard time just getting past the range because Randy Brown, he does a good job of like loading up to the body first and then going to the head. Like he's super fast despite being like 6 feet 3 inches tall in the welterweight division. And then in round two, he like he almost dropped Dalby a few times. Dalby was trying to press forward, trying to like knock out Randy Brown. Like this was a crazy scrap to end the fight, and unfortunately for Dalby, Randy Brown timed the right overhand and slumped out Nicholas Dalby cold. It's tough for Dalby. I think that's kind of it for a career because he is 41 years old. This was a lot better than what I expected from Randy Brown overall. I expected Randy Brown to kind of go to a 29-28 decision because Randy Brown, he kind of point fights a lot. You don't really see Brown uh put on the aggression that he did for this fight. But again, hats off to Randy Brown. He proved me wrong despite me picking him. And I think this warrants him a top 15 opponent because yeah, who else is there for Randy Brown? He's beaten a lot of guys, and I think he's looking better than ever than when he fought previous ranked opposition. Moving on, we have Michel Pereira versus Abus Magomedov. Now, Michel Pereira, I have a lot of words to say for you. Uh, we'll start off with this one. Fuck you, Michel Pereira. Second off, I don't think Michel Pereira trains. I genuinely do not believe that Michel Pereira trains for his fights. I think he just looks for TikTok edits, and after the first minute, there's like nothing Michel Pereira does. It's so fucking frustrating. And Abuz Magomedov looked like dog shit. I'm just gonna say how it is. He did not do much of anything. He just did slightly more than this fucking bum over here. Because Abuz Magomedov, he was gassed out in the third round. And from throwing what, like 30 strikes in 2 rounds? Like, what the like, these guys are both terrible, but fucking hell, Michelle Pereira. Like, why, like, I guess the Anthony Hernandez fight took it out of him, but man, why, man? I was a fan of Michelle Pereira. I legitimately thought he could have made a run in the middleweight division. Unfortunately, he doesn't train. It's just what it is. Michel Pereira, he kind of just injects EPO and just looks for highlight reel finishes, and he'll drop a backflip every once in a while for no reason. Like he dropped a backflip in order to pressure Abus Magomedov against the fence in the third round. Like, what the fuck are we doing here, Michel Pereira? Either way, I'm just so disappointed in Michel Pereira. I got nothing else to say. Fuck Abus Magomedov still. I don't think he's that good. Like, he kind of fought almost as timidly as Pereira. It's just that Magomedov landed slightly more. But yeah, overall, fuck Michel Pereira. Moving on to the feature fight, we have Giga Chikadze versus David Onama. Now, David Onama won this fight, and I do not agree with that whatsoever. Giga Chikadze, he clearly beat the brakes off David Onama. He clearly outstruck him, but I'm gonna say this, Chikadze, you're from Georgia. You're from the same country as Merab Dvalishvili and Ilya Taporia. Can we defend a takedown? Can we defend a double leg? Can we get back up to our feet? Because my goodness, Giga Chikadze has zero grappling. Like, brother, can we do more than just pulling guard every time we get taken down and just kind of held there? Like, what are we doing? Onama wasn't even doing shit with the takedown. He just kind of laid and prayed because he was getting tuned up on the feet so badly. Like, what are we doing here, Giga Chikadze? Like, can we train takedown defense actually? Like for once in your fucking career, Giga Chikadze, can we train some takedown defense? Oh man. But yeah, on the feet though, Giga Chikadze just schooled David Onama. Like maybe David Onama got some action in whenever he was pressing forward, but the majority of the fight, Chikadze was picking Onama apart. Fuck, I don't care, man. Like I could call this a robbery and cope, but at the same time, Prates literally doesn't know what he's doing on the ground, and it's a darn shame because he could, if he got up one time, he could have stole a round. Unfortunately, he never knows how to get up from bottom position, and that's why he will never be in the top 10. I don't know how he got in the top 10 last time, but he will never get back there anytime soon. Moving on to the co-main event, we got the most depressing fight on the card, even though it ended in a nasty finish. Anthony Smith versus Zhang Ming Yang. Now, the UFC, they made a retirement package for Anthony Smith. You know, the guy who is memed on for quitting in all of his fights. That guy got a retirement package and not former champions like Glover Teixeira and Stipe Miocic. I have no words. I have no words for the UFC. This is why the UFC is going down the shitter. This is why nobody buys your $80 fucking pay-per-views, and this is why nobody buys the ESPN passes to watch these fucking fight nights because why the fuck would you pay money for this dog shit of a product? That being said, Anthony Smith, he got dropped, and from there it was kind of one-sided. Like Anthony Smith, he kind of came out in the first minute of the fight, like he was actually looking aggressive. But then Zhang Mingyang, I think he cut him with the elbow, and Smith was bleeding bad. Smith was bleeding really bad, and from there, Anthony Smith does Anthony Smith things, curls up in the ball, in the fetal position, and just begging Zhang Mingyang to stop hitting him. And let me tell you this fucking loser over here, he was like flipping someone off in the crowd after that knockout loss. Like he had more energy to flip off a fan than to actually win his fight. That is a disgrace. Why the fuck are we championing him as if he was this legend of the game? He's not good. He honestly should I'm gonna be honest. It's a miracle that he didn't get finished by John Jones, of course, across 5 rounds. Like, what the fuck are we doing here, Anthony Smith? Like, you should have retired like 7 fights ago, back when you were like somewhat decent. Like, you're, why are we parading a fucking loser? I'm sorry. I'm sorry. Like, I know Smith lost his coach and that's why he was sad. Like, brother, he's been doing this in every single fight. He just gets dropped, or he just he just gets taken down, and all of a sudden he's holding on to 2-on-1 wrist control in the feeble position, or he's banging on his knees for his opponent to stop like hitting him. It's a disgrace that Anthony Smith was ranked in the UFC light heavyweight division, and it's a disgrace that John Jones didn't finish him over the course of 5 rounds. Good riddance, we got rid of Anthony Smith. As for Zhang Mingyang, it's actually time for a test. We gotta stop giving him all these tomato cans like Anthony Smith here. So yeah, hopefully Zhang Mingyang he gets someone in the top 10 very soon. Last but not least, we get to the main event: Ian Machado Garry versus Carlos Prates. Oh man, fucking Christ, man, why the fuck is this cuck winning? Ian Gary won. Ian Machado Garry won 48-47 in my opinion. Like for those of you who are calling it a dominant 4-1 masterclass, go fuck yourself. Ian Machado Garry barely did shit in the fourth round. And he almost got finished in the fifth round. Like Carlos Prates, finish Ian Gary, please. Like you had like 20 seconds. You could have just landed 2 more strikes. Why are you letting him back up, bro? Just eat his fucking ass. Oh man. This fight pissed me off on so many levels. And I'm gonna say this. Now, I'm not gonna call this a boring fight. I know some people online are calling it a boring fight. It was technically nice, and okay, this was realistically what was gonna happen if Ian Machado Gary were supposed to win this. But in the fifth round, like Gary's on his knees, like Prates drops him badly, and Ian Gary holding on to a single leg for dear life. Prates separates, and Gary's just on his knees, like just holding his hand out. Well, please, please, I won't get to see my wife get fucked by my nutritionist or some shit like that. Like, fucking Christ. What? We need to allow, uh, needs to grounded opponents. If there's ever a reason why, like it's Ian Machado Garry just crawling on the cage across the cage, just waving his hand so he doesn't get fucking knee to the face. And Carlos Prates can't really do anything other than try to duck down and try to punch him because fucking knees to grounded opponents who just intentionally ground themselves like that get away with this bullshit. Fucking Evloev, Makayev. Actually, no, this was even more egregious than Makayev and Evloev. At least Makayev and Evloev weren't getting their asses beat prior to this. Actually, no, never mind. Evloev was. Evloev was. But still, this was actually more egregious than the Evloev fight. And listen, Ian Machado Garry won 3 rounds to two, but again, we need to allow knees to grounded opponents. And let's be real, it does anyone think Ian Machado Garry can win a title after this? No. Like he'll get destroyed by Joaquin Buckley. He'll get destroyed by Jack Della Maddalena. He already lost to Shavkat Rachmanov. He will lose to Sean Brady, and Bilal Muhammad will piece him up. There, I said it. Ian Machado Garry, I don't care if he beat Carlos Prates. He ain't getting a fucking title. He ain't ever getting a title. Fuck this cock. Fuck Ian Machado Garry. Alright, that's gonna be it for today's video. Let me know in the comments down below how you guys feel about Ian Machado Garry versus Carlos Prates. Just give me an overall assessment of the card and whether or not you kind of agree with my takes or not. Other than that, make sure to like and subscribe, and I will see you guys next time. Peace.